G'day Seagulls fans, welcome to Seagulls TV for our team selection video previewing this weekend's huge final action. We've got our seniors playing off in a preliminary final on the Sunday against Essendon, as well as our development side playing off in another grand final on Saturday. And joining me to take us all through it is football manager Chris Dixon. Chris, thanks for joining us. Another huge achievement for the club to have both sides through to this deep in September.
Yes, it's where we want to be now. It's obviously all the hard work of both teams throughout the year to get to this point. The development team obviously had to do it the hard way, winning a knockout prelim last week, and then the seniors had the luxury of the week off. So, yeah, really proud of the achievements that both clubs have to get to this point, but certainly feel that there's still a fair bit of unfinished business, and hopefully we can get the dream result this weekend with 2 wins.
We'll start with the development grand final on Saturday. After defeating Coburg last week in the preliminary final, our boys are through to another grand final and opportunity for a third straight flag. That shows how much depth the club has.
And it's a credit to, I guess, the way that Shane Joyce and his team have gone about it. Look, the way we've been able to sort of develop players, A, for senior football, and obviously B, to have that team success all the way through. So, look, we probably haven't been as dominant as what the last 2 years have been, and certainly coming up against a Box Hill team that's going to go in as red-hot favourites. Haven't dropped a game for the year. They've beaten us 3 times. So, but look, strange things happen in these situations, and certainly we probably feel that we've got nothing to lose in this situation. There's probably a fair bit of pressure on Box Hill to maintain their unbeaten year. So our boys are going to come out and have a red-hot crack at it, knowing that we're going in as underdogs, but we'll certainly be giving it a red-hot shake, and as you said, sort of to win, I guess a hat-trick of development premierships would be a great achievement, so hopefully the boys can get the job done.
It's quite a remarkable rivalry these two clubs have had in the Development League. 10 of the last 13 grand finals have been played between them. They've certainly been the shining lights of the Development League over that period.
I think it shows that just the importance that both clubs place on the Development League and how it still has a place, I guess, in the VFL landscape. Both clubs obviously put a fair emphasis on using the competition to really make the transition, especially for guys coming through TAC Cup football, to develop into senior footballers. And if you look at our senior side, which will run out on the weekend, there's a lot of guys who played in the past 2 development grand finals, past 2 premierships, I should say. So we certainly feel it's a great asset for us to use. Credit to Box Hill, they do a really good job with their development program, and a bit like us, they've had a lot of players who have gone through and gone on to bigger things in terms of playing senior football. So it's going to be 2 good teams having a red-hot crack at each other. As you said, 10 out of the last 13 grand finals. I think Box Hill have lost the last 3 in a row, so we're going to be going out there to make it 4 in a row for them.
Let's hope that happens. That's on Saturday at 11:30 at Northport Oval. We'll win or lose, we'll be holding a post-match gathering back at Burbank Oval from 4:30 onwards. So we invite all supporters, families, friends, players, anyone who would like to come along and celebrate what's been another outstanding year for our development side. Moving on to Sunday's game now, the seniors prelim final against Essendon. Our opponents, Essendon, they've won through an elimination final and then a semi-final. They've built up some pretty good momentum going into this one.
There've been 2 pretty impressive wins as well, having sort of watched both games. So Casey, first up, they sort of were going against the wind in the last quarter, and probably the general feel of the game was that Casey was going to come home pretty strong with the win, but they actually kept them goalless. So that was a really strong effort. And then last week against the reigning premiers, Footscray. So really comprehensive team effort. They had contributors all the way through to their bottom end players, and a lot of VFL guys that are getting their opportunity this time of year who are really standing up. So probably expecting a few wins from their regard, sort of a captain and a couple of other AFL players who can sort of come into the mix for them. So they're going to be a pretty formidable side. There really wasn't too much in the game when we played them out at Burbank Oval. We were just able to sort of break them open a bit in the 3rd quarter. So we're well aware of the challenge. I guess probably even looking back to the start of the year when we saw some of the players that they recruited in terms of their VFL list, probably expected them to be sort of really around the mark this time of year. So 2 pretty even teams going at it. Obviously, a prelim final, need to bring your A game, but our focus is certainly on playing our game of footy, and hopefully we get the result that we're after.
Well, on the other side of the coin, we obviously beat Sandringham in the qualifying final to win straight through to this prelim. How has the week off helped the boys prepare for this?
It probably helped a few guys the Sandy game was obviously pretty intense, hard-working game of football, so just to have that week off to recover. The boys had a really good, sharp training session last Saturday, so that was something they really enjoyed, and look, preparation's been ideal for us. So we feel we're really well placed. We feel the week off's really benefited us as well as a footy club. So as far as, I guess, ticking boxes, we feel like we've done all that we can to get to this point, and feel like we're prepared as we can be. It's just a matter of going out now and doing the job.
Now, one of our players who was recruited from Essendon's VFL side, David Fay, plays his 50th VFL game. Nice little milestone, and what better week to have it than in a prelim final?
Yeah, exactly. Dave's a fantastic story. He's a member of our leadership group. He's an incredible asset around the club in terms of what he brings and his character. And had a hiccup throughout the year. He sort of missed out on a fair bit of footy, but the way he sort of fought back and had some really strong performances in our development team was a real credit to him, when it would have been easier to sort of drop his bundle. But he's been able to sort of force his way back into the senior side. As you said, he sort of had a few frustrations at Essendon with the alignment there, and for him to sort of notch up 50 VFL games is a real credit to him. So hopefully he can come out and have another great performance.
I'll run through our side now, and would you mind taking us through a few of the changes that have been made for this week's prelim?
Yeah, so I guess we're pretty fit at the moment. So obviously competition for spots is pretty strong. So probably into our squad, we've got a few guys coming back in who missed out against Sandringham. So Anthony Anastasio, Sean Ty, Ben Casley, Brad Mangan all come back into our squad. So look, they give us some different options, and I guess this time of year it's a matter of, I guess, getting our structures right and picking, I guess, teams that are sort of horses for courses, so to speak. So all those guys are in the mix. We've obviously got training tonight, so we'll finalise it after that. But they all give us a few different options in terms of how we want to structure up. But certainly to have sort of those guys really knocking down the door and putting pressure on guys in the side, it's a good position to be in. So hopefully we can get the balance right and pick a side that's going to win us the game.
Now, for those Seagulls fans looking for a unique matchday experience, we're actually running a ferry from Gem Pier in Williamstown at 1 o'clock on the Sunday. Now, it's a $60 trip, food and drink all inclusive, and that'll take 1 hour, and we'll dock in Port Melbourne, from where a bus will take all patrons to the ground. So if you'd like to get involved with that, there are still some tickets available. Just call the office on 93910309. And the bus after the game will then take all those people back to Seagull's Nest here in Williamstown and then on to Gem Pier. We're also asking for all our Seagulls fans to obviously come out and support us this week. Essendon up and about, and there's a fair chance we might be outnumbered, but that doesn't mean we can't make more noise than them. So please get along and support both on Saturday and Sunday. Wear your scarves. We're also handing out these #WeStandAlone posters that you might have seen us using throughout our social media channels during the week. We want to create a real atmosphere and a real throwback to those days of the 1990s with the great finals turnouts there. So, Chris, I'm sure all the support is much appreciated from the players.
Yeah, it's huge, and we don't certainly shouldn't underestimate what the effect it has on the playing group. So, look, hopefully there's going to be plenty of things to cheer about on the weekend. So certainly the gold and blue is going to stand out really well amongst all the red and black. So really encourage everyone to get down. It's a great time to be involved in the footy club, both Saturday and Sunday. 2 huge games. We want to see plenty of Seagulls fans there, and even if you don't go for Williamstown but you don't want to go for Essendon, then welcome aboard. We're more than happy to have your support. So look forward to seeing a big crowd out there on both days.
Well, that's it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Just a reminder, the Development League Grand Final on Saturday at 11:30 at North Port Oval, and then on Sunday our prelim final against Essendon at 2:40. Thanks very much, guys, and go Seagulls.